Welcome to the Real View podcast, where Ohio Realtors connect you to innovators and influencers, keeping you with the real view of real estate. Whether you're a broker, agent, first-time homebuyer, industry leader, or just happen to stumble upon our podcast today, you can expect to hear tips, tools, tricks, interesting information, and so much more from the experts in Ohio's real estate game. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Real View podcast. I'm your host, Allison Wiley. Joining us today for our very special edition, previewing our 2022 convention, is none other than John Mangus, the Ohio Realtors president this year, and Joe Dirk. He is the 2022 convention committee chair. They are no strangers to the podcast. They have joined me numerous times. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Hey, excited to be here.
And
yes, looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome episode. We are so excited to share with you guys what we have planned for this year's convention. This is going to be an amazing event. It's been in the works for years, as we will get into in a minute, but we just wanted to bring this to you guys so you get to hear firsthand kind of all the amazing things that we have planned and why you should join us here in the fall in September. So John, why don't you tell us a little bit about this year's convention, maybe some of the logistics, where are we headed? When are the dates, and kind of what has the planning process been like for this year?
Well, thank you so much. I feel like the planning process has been in process for the better part of 2.5 years. So let me just go backwards for a second, Allie. Joe Dirk was our 2020 convention chairperson for the Cleveland convention that didn't happen. And there was this little thing that interrupted it all called COVID. And we had contracts, we had commitments. There were things that we just had to sort of walk back. So we were able to do that, and we're back in Cleveland in 2022. And I reached out to Joe when I was doing my committee appointments and said, Joe, you did so much of the work for 2020. You didn't get to deploy on those efforts. So would you be willing to step in and be our convention chair in 2022? So he's almost like, Joe, you're almost like convention chair emeritus in a way. But the convention kicks off on Sunday, September 18th. And I did say Sunday. And Joe, I get your wisdom. Since the market's the way the market is, nobody's really holding opens right now. So why not do a convention starting on Sunday, Joe? Was that your rationale?
Yeah, we sell all the houses before Sunday anyhow. So why?
Exactly.
Why not start early?
So, Joe, take a minute and tell us a little bit about what's going on Sunday. It starts at noon on Sunday with the opening of the registration desk. So, do you want to take us through some of the exciting high points?
We're gonna kick off the convention. Actually, Cleveland's Mayor Bibb is coming to do a ribbon cutting with us and get us started off. We're gonna kick off a little bit before the Cleveland Browns kickoff, a little bit later in the day.
Woo-hoo.
Go Browns, have to say that.
A good Sunday fun day is what we're going to call it. We have a lot of it's just fun stuff all day. We'll be at the Expo Center. There is going to probably be a few beverages, some prizes, some music. Who knows? Maybe some dancing. I think John's talking about a little bit of break dancing or something I've heard.
It wasn't this John, just to be clear on that.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, I've heard you, Joe. You do a pretty good rendition of Cleveland Rocks. I've heard you do that. So can we key you up for that?
You never know. You never know. Maybe we might need to find a karaoke.
There you go.
Always popular. And I mean, Cleveland is home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which we will talk about in a minute. But why not have a little bit, of rock and roll and singing and music? I think it's totally appropriate for where we're going to be this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
kicking off on Sunday, like we said, this is a change. I know we usually kick off on Mondays, but we had to rearrange some dates and some things based off of the COVID year, like John and Joe were mentioning. So we'll kick off on Sunday with that expo, grand opening at 11:30. Going to be a big deal. It's the first time we've kind of done a grand opening of the expo with the ribbon cutting and having the Cleveland mayor there is going to be really, really cool. So make sure to get into town for that expo opening at 11:30. Going to be a big party and super fun. But that is just the start of what we have going on Sunday. What else do we have after the expo opens?
Well, for me, selfishly, I always enjoy the legislative update and the legal issues update. And Joe, I know, there's other stuff going on as well. I know there's a happy hour, but selfishly, those are always two things that I always look forward to. And the legal issues update is going to look very different this year because instead of Peg and Lori, we're going to have Stephen and Todd, right?
Yeah, so you guys will get the opportunity to hear from them. I know they're going to be at the industry updates happening this summer, but this is kind of going to be their first big introduction at an Ohio Realtors convention. So you will get to hear and get to know a little bit better our new attorneys, which are taking over from the incredible careers that Peg and Lori have. So don't miss that. They're fantastic and are going to share some great information for you guys.
Joe, do you want to tell us a little bit about President Sales Club and what that maybe looks like this year? And that's on Sunday.
President Sales Club will be Sunday evening about 6:30, and it's going to be just, a great event honoring all those hardworking agents who are winning their awards throughout Ohio. We have all sorts of individual to team awards, and it's just going to be a good reception. Music, all kinds of fun stuff done.
That's always a lively, favorited event during convention. And yes, we are very excited to celebrate the achievements of our top realtors in the states for their achievements in their sales. And then that kind of wraps up Sunday. It's going to be a really, really fun, lighthearted day. And then we go into the full swing of things on Monday. What do we have going on Monday the 19th?
Well, we kick off with an RPAC breakfast, which that's bright and early at 7:30 in the morning. And I don't know, do realtors really do 7:30 a.m., Joe? I mean,
they provide coffee for us. So.
And a breakfast,
And breakfast.
Food, yeah, breakfast and food. That's a good start. But we have some amazing speakers on Monday. Joe, of the speakers that we have, Terry Watson, Evan Fuchs, David Gorenberg, Terry Watson, David Childers, who's, do you have a favorite? Is there one of those that, I know you've seen the video, you've talked to them in person. Is there someone that just really jumps out at you, Joe, that is a personal favorite?
I'm really looking forward to David Childers, just his excitement, his passion, and so forth. It's just, he does a great job.
He's really awesome, and you guys have heard from him on this podcast. I know the past couple weeks we've been featuring our convention speakers, so if you haven't listened to David Childers' podcast, go back and listen. He's amazing, and I know John and Joe and I were talking before we started recording, and I'm looking forward to meeting him and talking to him more and seeing his session, because just in the podcast, the information he shared and the way he shared it was really great. So make sure, go back, listen to all the convention speakers, including David, on the podcast. You'll get a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A preview into what they are going to be speaking about at convention. But yeah, David's going to be really, really awesome.
Super excited.
And then I know one of the things we have on Monday as well is a throwback to some of conventions that we've had in years previous, is the Lunchbox Economics. So this is coming back. This was something that we did before, and we are so excited to be bringing it back to this year's convention. Why don't you all tell us a little bit about what to expect for our Lunchbox Economics on Monday?
Well, we have Brandy Snowden, one of NAR's senior analysts, coming to speak to us. So it's always a pleasure to have a guest from NAR, really bringing that national aspect and, tone to everything. It's, every time I've been to the Lunchbox Economics, I've always taken a new nugget home of information, something that's really helped grow my business.
And those NAR speakers are so awesome, and it's going to be great to have Brandy here.
Well, and it's so timely, guys, because, there might be a little disruption in the marketplace right at the moment, whether we're talking inflation or inventory or interest rates. So, having someone from NAR to provide us some context for all of that, that just couldn't be more timely in my mind.
Agreed.
And then we kind of go into the afternoon after the Lunchbox Economics with our grand session, which is always popular. I know that room is always packed. Very exciting to kind of really spotlight and open our convention. Tell us about the grand session this year.
Well, our keynote will be Scott Daly from Focus 3. I had a chance to speak with him last week, and he's a U.S. Navy SEAL who really has spent the rest of his career now helping people grow their leadership skills, talks about critical thinking and the control of your own behavior and how it will help bring you exceptional results in your life and in your business. He's just dynamic speaking with him and really looking forward to what he has to say.
I guarantee you that people will walk away with pages of notes and just amazing takeaways. And at the end of the day, when we learn something from a speaker like him that we can apply to ourselves, it impacts so many parts of our lives, not just our business, but the relationships with our families and friends. There's just so much personal growth and development that comes out of a speaker like Scott. So I'm confident people are really going to enjoy that.
This episode of The Real View is brought to you by the Ohio Association of Community Colleges. Ohio's network of community colleges provides accessible training that accommodates the busy lifestyles of aspiring real estate professionals at half the price of a traditional university. With convenient locations in every part of the state, as well as online options, Ohio's community colleges are your smart choice for pre-licensing education. For more details or to start the journey to a real estate career, visit the education page at ohiorealtors.org and then click on the pre-license course locations.
Hey, Ohio Realtors! Register now for the 2022 convention. We're back in Cleveland from September 18th through the 21st for this year's jam-packed event, featuring 20 and a half hours of CE, nationally known speakers, awards receptions, networking, and the always popular RPAC YPN event hosted at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't miss out. Register now by visiting ohiorealtors.org/convention. Hey, Ohio Realtors! Register now for the 4th Annual Broker Summit, happening October 18th in Westerville, Ohio. Plus, make sure to join us for the all-new Team Summit, happening the day before the Broker Summit. That's right, 2 straight days of learning and networking just for you. Don't miss out on this important opportunity. Register today by visiting ohiorealtors.org.
Yeah, he was great, and I was fortunate enough to join when we had a little preview call with John, Joe, and Scott earlier this week. And yeah, he's going to be great. He will also be joining us for a podcast up and coming in the next couple weeks here too. So make sure, if you want to learn a little bit more about him and what he's going to be speaking about at convention, you can listen into that. And then, of course, make sure to join us at that grand session. And then we kind of head into the evening on Monday night, which is kind of our signature highlight party event on Sunday night, the ever popular RPAC YPN party, event, celebration. It's a blast. And if you guys remember last year, we were at Pins at Easton, and I mean, it was a party. Our realtors know how to party, and what a great event to come together and celebrate and benefit RPAC. Tell us a little bit about this year's event. Where's it going to be, and what do we have to look forward to?
We're going to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No better place to be in Cleveland than there. We're taking it over for the night. We're going to be the only ones there. Ohio Realtors will be have the entire facility to ourselves. There will be a major investor reception for those major investors. So if you haven't become a major investor yet for the year, it's time to, so you can get that sneak preview in there. You'll be able to have free reign throughout the Hall of Fame for the evening. I think there is going to be there'll be a band there, potential, most likely. I think we're going to try to get some of our membership on stage for some karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Did I hear that there was a rap group from Cleveland that was going to perform for us? Is that right?
You know what? There may be.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Is Joe Dirk and the Escorts? Is that that's what the group?
It could be. I don't know. It could be a surprise or two
All right.
in store for membership to see. So we'll find out. Those Ohio Realtors, you never know what they're going to come up with.
Never know. I mean, Never know.
Gotta be there to see it. That is Monday night at 7:00 at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right in downtown Cleveland. And what's really cool, I think, too, about this location is everything is so close and super walkable. Yeah, it's really great. We will have shuttles to a few different events that are a little further off site, but everything is so close. It's right there. You're right on Lake Erie. If you've never been to that part of our state, it's a really cool location, and it's going to be fun and really exciting to be up there. The RPAC event is a ticketed event. Those tickets will be available for purchase. So if you are interested in that, make sure to get your tickets beforehand. I know we will not be doing any ticket sales at the door. So we know sometimes we wait till the last minute to do things, but I think that's important to note that if you are planning on coming to the RPAC YPN event, to get your tickets early before 7:00 on Monday night. And that's going to be a big party. So big celebration. You definitely want to be there. And then we kind of head into our Tuesday at convention. Lot more great stuff going on, more great speakers. What do we have going on Tuesday, guys?
Well, we have Jackie Leavenworth and Rob Hahn as two of our major, great speakers teaching CE. They're going to be kind of finishing up that 20.5 hours of CE that's being offered throughout the convention. Great speakers, just, bring your notepad.
Joe, to your point on Rob Hahn, I feel like more people know him as Notorious Rob than they do as Rob Hahn. He's edgy. And I think, that's part of his value proposition is he does kind of put things out there. And I know I mentioned that, Rob Hahn was speaking and someone looked at me like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, Notorious Rob? Oh, Notorious Rob. Now I know who he is. Oh, wow. Okay, I want to hear him. So, it's kind of an interesting dichotomy there.
And you guys have done just such an incredible job of picking these convention speakers. I know I've been lucky to talk to a few of them, and they are, like John said, just dynamic. They are so personable. They are going to make all of their sessions so incredible, so entertaining, and you're going to have fun. You're going to have fun at all of these. What better way to learn and get your CEs than to have a little fun doing so and listening to some amazing, really knowledgeable speakers. So that's really exciting, and kudos to you guys for picking just an amazing lineup of speakers.
Super excited. Thanks.
Yeah. And then we kind of have something new on Tuesday night, the awards reception. This is a totally new event and part of convention. Could you guys tell us a little bit about what this awards reception is and kind of why we decided to add this to our convention?
We really wanted just to really have a time to focus on those hardworking Ohio Realtors, those distinguished ones that have put many years of service in, and really just give them the time and a special reception to honor their work and, focus on that specifically.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. This is the first time we've done this, so we're excited. What do you think, John?
I think it's really timely because so much of what comes out of that, focuses on what we do for communities. And I sometimes have always felt like, we kind of, because of time constraints, just kind of had to gloss over, what some of these amazing people that are members of Ohio Realtors are doing in their own communities. And I think this gives us that opportunity to really, give them the proper recognition and maybe even explore a little deeper, like what it is, they're doing for their communities, in their communities, as well as all of the other, award recipients. But I think it's really an appropriate use of time and a great way to really honor those winners.
Yeah, and you'll get to see firsthand, be the first to know who wins the Realtor of the Year award, kind of the top achievement that we hand out during the awards reception. And then, like John said, just Realtors who are very active in their community and are doing amazing work. They deserve their own event. They deserve to be celebrated, and we're really excited to have this dedicated time to celebrate that. So make sure to be there. That's Tuesday night at 6:00 p.m. Not a ticketed event, so anyone is welcome to attend. Come on over and see and celebrate these wonderful Realtors that we're so lucky to have as a part of our association. And that's kind of the last evening celebration during convention. And then we head into Wednesday, which is our board of directors meeting. John, tell us a little bit about that and kind of what goes on there and the importance of the board of directors at convention.
Well, the board of directors meeting is so very important because it really charts the direction that our association is going to take going forward. And I'm super excited that we're able to do it in the morning so that people can get it, get up, get at it, go through the board of directors meeting and get on with their day. And, we will be, having some refreshments if people so, desire, lunchbox kind of thing. But, there's a lot to the board of directors meeting. We're very excited that it can get started a little earlier in the day and get it moving on and get people on their way after a great convention experience.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. Always a great way to wrap up. We get to have fun for a few days, and then we end the convention with some business and making sure, our association is moving forward and is strong, and really nice way to just end up and wrap up things. So that's a ton of stuff. What did I miss, guys? Is there anything out there that we didn't talk about? What are you guys looking forward to? What would you tell your other realtors if they're considering coming this year?
Remember to register early, get your hotel room booked. And, I would advise, if you want to really get a chance to enjoy Cleveland a little bit more, there's so many entertainment districts, there's sports teams, there's great restaurants, the architecture, all of that. Come in a day early. Come in on Saturday. Grab a good dinner. I just love to, I'm a foodie, so I can, if anybody feels free to reach out, I'll give you some recommendations on places to check out.
Joe, where's your favorite place in Little Italy?
Favorite place in Little Italy? I guess it depends on what spectrum. There is the...
okay, foodie.
I can give you some very interesting things over the years from Little Italy. We've got the Tavern of Little Italy. We got Dolce Vita. We got all kinds of places. So, you have a spectrum in Little Italy. It's just kind of a neat little spot. There's also getting into Tremont, the East Bank of the Flats, West 4th Street, East 4th Street, just all the different spots you can hit.
What's the warehouse district like these days, Joe? I haven't been to downtown Cleveland since, pre-COVID.
The warehouse district hasn't changed a whole lot. The up and coming spots are down in the East Bank of the Flats. There's a new country bar there. There is a large Forward nightclub. There is Big Bang, piano bar. There is a lot of new spots down there. That's really where I'd encourage you to go. East 4th for dinners, Butcher Brewer. There is Red Steakhouse. If anybody can, get into the Marble Room, that would be one of the nicest places in Cleveland to get a reservation, but you probably should make that very soon.
Can we drop your name? Will that help us to get in?
I don't know if I got enough pull there.
We can try, right? Yeah, no, I'm really excited personally to be up there. This will only be my second in-person convention, but I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Cleveland. And I know all the Ohio Realtors staff say Cleveland is their favorite city to have convention just because there is so much to offer. Great restaurants, great neighborhoods, great districts, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We're going to be right in the midst of it all. And that's what's really cool about this location. It will be at the Hilton downtown Cleveland and the convention center, all walkable. We have the whole hotel. We have the whole convention center. It is going to be just an amazing event to come together and celebrate our Ohio Realtors. And finally, with probably the most normalcy of convention that we've had since going through COVID, which is also going to be really excited. Fingers crossed we won't have any of the COVID restrictions that we've been dealing with. And we can just get back to normal, spend time together, and have a little fun. And learn, which is always fun.
Absolutely.
So make sure to get registered now. Guys, registration is open, ohiorealtors.org/convention. You can find all the details of everything we just talked about, all of the 20 and a half hours of CE credit, all of the national speakers, their bios, the topics that they're going to be speaking on. You can get the whole rundown and whole agenda so you can kind of plan out and start thinking now about what you want to make sure you allow in your schedule to do. And come up on Saturday. I know most of the Ohio Realtors staff will be up there on Saturday. I know Joe and John are going to be up there. So come in Saturday, enjoy the city, take it all in, and it's going to be fun. So we hope you guys will join us. John and Joe, thank you guys so much for joining me on this, for hyping up our convention, and for all of the planning and work that goes into this. I really just want to thank you guys for that, for all of your time and effort. I know planning a convention to this magnitude is not easy, and a lot of work and time and thought goes into this. So thank you guys so much for your leadership and for all of your hard work for this convention.
Let me just add to that and thank Joe for doing this twice, doing it in 2020 and again in 2022. I don't know that we've ever asked that of a committee chairperson before. So personally, from me to you, Joe, thank you. I appreciate you stepping up and doing that for us.
No problem, John. And I want to thank our staff and the rest of the committee. We have about 15 other committee members that have put time in. A lot of work went into those, finding those CE speakers and the site visits and the planning, the schedule, and so forth. There's been just a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people don't realize this work starts about 1 week after the prior year's convention. And it just keeps on going right up until it's over. And then 2021 will be planned shortly after that. Or sorry, 2023. What am I saying?
No, I love that you ended on that, because I do want to say it'll be in Cincinnati next year. Don't have too many details, as Joe said, but it's going to come very quickly after convention.
And there's a rumor that there may even be a new convention destination some year in the somewhat near future. So I'll just let that hang in the air a little bit. But we may have a new city to add to that convention list in the relatively
pushing for that, John. I've been making some recommendations on that, and I know that city might be a little near and dear to your heart, but we'll see.
You're going to end us on a teaser? Oh. No, that's going to be exciting. Always fun to see a new area of the city, and what a great opportunity for our realtors to come and check out a new place. So way to tease it. We'll end it on that teaser. That was great. Give us something to look forward to in the future. But again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Make sure to register for convention September 18th through the 21st in Cleveland, Ohio at the Hilton Convention Center. Registration is open now. Get your hotel rooms, get your RPAC tickets, get your dinner reservations, as Joe mentioned, and we will see you there. Can't wait. See you guys there. Make sure to register. Joe and John, thank you. And to all of our listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to The Real View. That wraps up today's episode. You can keep up with the latest on the podcast at ohiorealtors.org/therealview and on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Have questions, comments, or suggestions? We want to hear from you. Email us at podcast@ohiorealtors.org. We'll see you next time.